Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. Online sports betting has exploded since 2021 when Canada legalized single-event sports betting. Gambling apps at your fingertips have made gambling more ubiquitous than ever. And it's become weirder with platforms like Polymarket, where you can literally bet on things like elections, war, and yes, this is true, the second coming of Jesus Christ. Almost 10% of Canadians can be classified as having a gambling disorder, with young Canadian men being at particularly high risk. In Ontario, gambling-related bankruptcies are up 400% from 2022 when the province opened its doors to private online gambling, which BC still tightly restricts. So how do Canadians feel about gambling? Here with the data, pollster extraordinaire, the president of Research Co., Mario Canseco, and joining him is Vancouver-based comedian Dino Archie to present the Low Road Report. So Dino, what's the biggest gamble that you've ever made in your life?
I was thinking about this on the way here, and I think it's waiting just a hair too long to pull out.
Please do not elaborate anymore.
I won't elaborate, but just when you think you got half a second, and then your life's different. So that's the biggest gamble. It's not pulling out just a hair early.
Well, yeah, we're gonna take a hard right turn to Mario now. Mario,
that's a gamble, man.
That's a gamble.
That's the biggest.
I just don't want to dwell on it any longer than we have to.
Can I tell you my money?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
I invested it. I put a lot of money in crypto.
Okay. Did you make money?
I bet on the wrong horse. I did the hawk tour lady.
Oh, you got rug pulled. I
got rug pulled. Yeah. The hawk. I put my money on the hawk.
Mario, whether it comes to personal decisions or finance, how do Canadians feel about gambling?
It's a bit of a mixed bag. You do have a situation where people are worried about what it could mean, especially now with the sports betting phenomenon. What does it mean to kids? Why are kids asking you about the over-under when they should be asking about the score? And, it's not a situation that has to do with religion or what you believe in. We do have a significant proportion of Canadians who say it should be legal to gamble, but they are also more likely to believe that it is not something that they find necessarily pleasant at this point.
So it's not like a morality thing, but people maybe see the harms of it.
Yeah, I think it's the harms, but it's not a morality that is necessarily coded in religion. Even those who don't have any religion say this is kind of wrong. So it's a bit of a tricky situation. It's not as if you have everybody being upset with the fact that you're betting, but there are very specific concerns with what this could mean, especially when it comes to sports.
Interesting. Dino, when you can bet your hawk to a coin on the second coming of Jesus Christ, is gambling itself a religion?
I think religion is a gamble.
Okay.
Believing in religion is a gamble because you're betting on if you behave right, you're gonna go to heaven.
Yeah.
Right. And if you tip the dealer, you got a little extra, VIP pass.
Yeah.
But if you grease his palms every Sunday,
yeah, sure.
You get a little bit of extra bump in line.
Yeah.
Now if you behave, you bust, you crap out, you're out. You're in hell, buddy. You know what I mean? So because you're going off, you don't know what's in the next world, but you're betting.
Yeah.
You're betting with your soul.
Yeah.
So people are betting every day.
So that's a big bet as it is, but does it concern you that you can literally go online and bet on the silliest things or just like the most abstract things?
It doesn't concern me. It would concern my bank account. I'm glad that like every time I tap, it's a gamble. Okay. So already that is gonna go through. So I stay away from gambling after my crypto fiasco.
Mario, unlike religion, though, people hide their gambling habits from their loved ones, right? Is that what we see in the data as well?
Yes, I think it's a situation where you're only going to celebrate when things go well. Right. Like, hey, I bought this lottery ticket and we did fantastically. You're not going to talk about your losses. It's part of the complexity that we have, especially when you look at it from the standpoint of couples. You could not agree on whether you should bet on something or where to invest or where to go into Polymarket and bet on stuff. It's the kind of thing that can happen. And it definitely plays a role in the way you see each other down the road.
We've learned about how Dino gambles a little too intimately, but in general, how do Canadians gamble?
The number one thing is lottery tickets.
You still?
Have a lot of people who say, I bought a lottery ticket in the past couple of months. 30% who expect to win a prize. Of course, that doesn't happen. You never have 30% of people winning something.
Yeah.
But really lower, it's all the stuff related to sports. And at the bottom of the list is Polymarket. 1% of Canadians saying, I am going to place a bet on something that hasn't happened. And part of what we're seeing is this concern about the way in which some of these events can change, especially when it comes to sports. We've had so many examples of this. Point shaving in the 1980s in the States, the whole situation with South African cricket. This is something that is concerning. If somebody out there can say, I'm going to put a bet on myself getting a yellow card, you score a goal, you take off your shirt, you pocket the money.
Dino, I'm going to go down the low road and say that when you bet on sports, it actually makes the games more exciting.
Oh,
Stuff
man.
that I wasn't necessarily invested in.
Welcome home, brother. Now you're talking my kind of talk. Yeah.
So is that a problem now?
Well, I mean, to me, that was my favorite era of baseball, was the juice era, when everyone was jacked and they're just walking up blindfolded and just donging home runs out of the park, man. I mean, but when a player bets on themselves, there's a part of that I feel like there's a gray area where is Pete Rose. Should he be banned for life? He didn't bet against himself. He was confident.
Yeah.
He put his money on himself. Now, when he gets to, are we gonna close the Strait of Hormuz? I'll bet you we will. Like then it gets dicey. But when it comes to sports, it's isolated. You got skin in the game.
Yeah.
You're excited, because I don't get why grown men are excited about other men younger than them at their peak, physical peak, just excelling and getting millions of dollars.
If I have money on it, I'm excited about it.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense now.
Is that, that seems to be a big part of the conversation is sports betting, right? Are we seeing that grow in Canada?
It's starting to happen more. And I think there's an impact that it has on children, for instance. We have people saying, this worries me, the fact that now kids are going to grow up believing that you need to bet in order to enjoy sports.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is happening because of the way the regulations are in Ontario, where you get all of those ads. Even if you don't live in Ontario, you get all the ads about sports betting. So you start to think, hey, this is the way to go. If I'm young, I'm starting to learn about a sport, and everything that I see on the screen is the over-under, I'm going to care about that more than other stuff.
Dino, really quickly, we know that the house always wins. So if someone's got that itch to gamble, what would you recommend that they do instead?
I think once you're a gambler, you're always a gambler. So don't fight that part, but just switch what you bet on.
Okay.
Like, I bet I could pick my kids up from school on time. You know what I mean? I bet I could go to the gym. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I bet I could call my mom and say hi and listen. And, you just change what you bet about. Like,
this sounds like the high road.
You know what? I've switched on you. Now, you're on the low road. I'm on the high road.
Anything can happen.
He is controlling the outcome, though.
He really.
I did put a bet on
That's
this.
the issue.
I bet on this before that I'd go high road. So,
Gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, man.
Folks, that was pollster extraordinaire Mario Canseco and comedian Dino Archie. Now, after some business, do you watch the news to get informed or to get validation? Linda Steele is here, and we're going to talk about it up next.